Joining us now, one of the president's closest advisors, former Congressman Cedric Richmond of the Democratic National Committee. Congressman, welcome back to Fox News Sunday.
Thank you for having me.
Gas prices are down. The president passed his climate and health care bill, and he has kept a promise to forgive some student debt. Thursday night, he made the case for Democrats in a fiery DNC speech. He told fundraisers, quote, "What we're seeing now is either the beginning of the death knell of an extreme MAGA philosophy. It's not just Trump, it's the entire philosophy that underpins the, I'm going to say something, it's like semi-fascism." What did he mean?
Well, I think he's very clear about it, that he's drawn a comparison to a party that wants to unite us, a party that's worried about families and what they're dealing with, and a party that's still litigating the 2020 election, the party that's taking away reproductive rights for women, a party that is attacking families and law enforcement and questioning the FBI, as opposed to a party that really is about lifting up America to fulfill its best promise, and that's that anyone can live and be the best that they can be, and we want to help people do that. And I think the president is riding that wave, bringing down cost of prescription drugs and all of those things. And I think the best thing that he can do and what's appropriate is to draw a contrast between what the two parties stand for.
Here he is in November of 2020 after he won.
It's time to put away the harsh rhetoric, lower the temperature, see each other again, listen to each other again. And to make progress, we have to stop treating our opponents as our enemies.
How does that square with calling his opponents semi-fascists? People have compared this to Hillary Clinton saying deplorables on the campaign trail.
Well, people who say that would be dead wrong. The president works across the aisle all the time and gets criticized for it. We passed an infrastructure bill with bipartisan support. In fact, presidents for decades have talked about passing an infrastructure bill, but he did it with Republican support. He just passed a bill to help our veterans with bipartisan support. He passed a CHIPS bill so that we could build semiconductors in this country and secure American independence and leap towards the future with bipartisan support. So he works with Republicans and Democrats all the time. But here's the difference between the last president and this one. This president focuses on people and their families, not himself. So we will work with Republicans, we'll work with Democrats, and I think he's shown that over and over again. And that's what he was saying in that November clip that you just showed, and that's what he's doing every day.
Let's talk about student loans. The president announced his plan to forgive $10,000 of student loans for borrowers earning less than $125,000 per year and $20,000 for Pell Grant borrowers. But take a look at the average tuition numbers in recent years. $9,400 for public universities, $37,000 for private universities. Meanwhile, the average Ivy League tuition is $78,000 a year, even though the average Ivy League endowment is $22 billion. Critics say these schools will simply raise tuitions higher.
We're going to continue to fight that. And the president has been very clear about the rising cost of college education and the fact that we need to bring it under control. And he's working on that. But let me be clear about all those criticisms. We have a bunch of things in this country. This country is not a zero-sum game where somebody has to fail for others to succeed. And so we have historic tax credits. We have business tax credits to help those who own businesses. And not everyone in America owns a business. But we help business owners because we want to promote it. So what the president is saying, for those people who fight and search and go gain an education, that we're going to help you because education is the best way out of poverty. And you shouldn't be saddled with that debt because home ownership is the best way to pass wealth on from generations. So this is about helping working class people. 90% of this benefit will go to people who earn less than $75,000 a year. So those plumbers and electricians and police officers and teachers, this will help their children reach that American dream that they want. And remember, everything doesn't benefit everybody, but it's about the common good, and this president is focused on working families and empowering people to reach their full potential. And I think that this does exactly what he's trying to do.
But is the president's move even legal? Here are the president and Speaker Pelosi just last year.
I'm prepared to write off the $10,000 debt, but not 50.
Mr. President, let me ask you.
Because I don't think I have the authority to do apply sign of the pen.
People think that the President of the United States has the power for debt forgiveness. He does not. He can postpone, he can delay, but he does not have that power. That has to be an act of Congress.
What changed?
Well, Congress acted. And if you look at the legislation that allowed President Trump and President Biden to delay loan repayment, it's the same legislation that allows him to forgive $10,000 worth of debt and $20,000 worth of debt to those who were on Pell Grants, which is the hardest and lowest income people that are going to college. So it's the same thing. And look, I call it how I see it. It's the same thing that allowed President Trump to do it that allows President Biden to do it.
Legal experts expect court challenges. You know, conservative lawyers are already looking for the right person or group with standing to sue. Will this even hold up in court?
Yes, it'll hold up in court, just like the 2020 election, which the president won by over 7 million votes.
Why is the president doing this right before the midterms? Isn't this just an election gimmick?
It's not. What it's doing is empowering people to get an education, lift themselves out of poverty, free up the high cost of the debt that they owe to colleges so that they can invest in American dreams, buy a home, invest in their children, be better community members. This is about lifting up America. And the president said from day one that he would lift up America from the bottom up and the middle out. And the country voted for him to do that. So this is not a surprise. We said it on the campaign trail that he would do this. And he's fulfilling a campaign commitment that he made to invest in America's working families. And this is what this does. And look, I just don't understand the criticism that we're getting from the right. We have business deductions everywhere and all day long. We just gave, in 2017, $2 trillion to the top 1% and businesses. 99% of the country did not benefit from the 2017 $2 trillion tax cut. People all across the country are going to benefit from this debt relief. And so, look, we're not picking winners and losers. America is a country about the common good. And what we're doing here is making sure that we invest in all of America. And right now, we're investing in working families. So those viewers out there that are busting their behinds to make ends meet, we're investing in you, and we're not going to leave any family behind, whether it's rural or urban. That's what this president is going to do. He campaigned on it, and he's living up to his campaign commitments.
Congressman, thank you for joining us. We hope you'll come back.